Hey guys, how are you? I made you a promise. I made you a promise that this is a cheer up video, and it definitely will be a cheer up video. I promise you that. But we're going to take 10 seconds real quick here because I saw a statistic last night that was insane. I looked at all the views that I've had over the last 3 or 4 days, and it's really good. And God, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. But can you please do me a favor? We're going to stop here real quick. Can you hit the subscribe button? Please. Because 94% of you that are watching the videos are not subscribing. So please, you hit the little subscribe thing right there, or right there, wherever it is. If you want to hit the like while you're there, oh my gosh. But the subscribe would be huge. So please hit that. I really would appreciate it. Okay. So I wake up this morning. And the first thing I do is I open the paper. Well, the first thing I did is I had a cup of coffee. And then I cleaned like an animal. But then I eventually opened the newspaper, and the first thing I see is this. Two articles about Mr. Lawson. One is the article we had all read yesterday, stating the injury, and God, it was crushing to read the part about Joe Douglas being on the other side of the field and the trainer going over to tell him, and you could see the pain in his face, you know. Yeah, it must have been horrible. That article. And then there's an article that says Carl Lawson speaks out. Or Carl Lawson speaks out to the fan base. Let me get it exactly right. It's the New York Post. New York Post. Jets Carl Lawson vows to be back from season-ending injury by Joseph Staszewski? Staszewski. Sounds like an ex-you-know-what of mine. Staszewski. Anyway, article about Carl Lawson speaks out. So I read the article real quick, and I get to this one part, and I said, you know what? Damn it, son of a... And I do a little cursing. And I said, that's it. That's it. And I started thinking about all the things I've been thinking about, like the last couple of weeks when it comes to the Jets. With everything life brings us, all the problems that we have in life, all the problems of this, all the problems of that, all the crap we go through. That little time we're able to spend on the Jets, right, has been exciting. And then I read this from Carl Lawson. For those who truly know me, that this is like a flesh wound to me, Lawson wrote on his Instagram account late Thursday night in his first comments about his injury. God's with me. I control what I control. So I'm always back better. Loved ones, here's the key, ready? Loved ones, friends, and fans, please keep your chins up so I can raise mine higher. I don't know if I did that for effect, but I think I just broke my glasses. Okay? Please keep your chin up so I could raise mine higher. Because I got to be honest with you. I looked around last night and I saw it. A lot of sulking. I looked at my video and I looked like I was ready to, contemplating some weird stuff. And it's football, yes, but we are Jet fans. And then I read this. And I even talked about in the video yesterday, when we first found out about this, that this season was about a lot more than Carl Lawson. As much as we love him and we're excited to see him play, there were so many big things going on this season, but we couldn't get beyond what we just heard. It's like anything you hear that's really bad news. Then you're able to absorb it, and then you slowly start to move on unless somebody speeds up the process of healing and moving on. And he did, right there. And it got me right back to thinking, go make a video, right? And the video deals with the fact that we've got a great head coach. And when I say great head coach, I can go through the list of head coaches that were named during my real enjoyment of the Jets. Yes, I became a Jet fan back in 1969, watching that Super Bowl game. Yes, I truly had no idea what the hell was going on. Okay? Yes, I do remember watching the game. I do remember the grown-ups around me talking about how absolutely physically dominating the Jets were. And I knew what physically dominating meant. But I had no idea what it had to do with the hell of what I was watching. But I understood football. I understood that I saw a rushing touchdown. I understood the score. I didn't understand the spread, which they kept talking about. So my point is that yes, I became a fan in '69, but when I truly became a fan that became like addicted almost was pretty early. I want to say 74, 75, 73 even, because I remember taking rides to I think I did this in another video real quick. I'll do real quick to Staten Island with my mother. And she was great, man, because we'd go on a Sunday to see my grandmother. And they had a gigantic farm in Staten Island. And big piece of property. And I always enjoyed going out there. But we'd go out there, and my mother would always put the Jet game on the radio for me. So I'd listen to him. I'd listen to the Jet game. And I got hooked early, really, really hooked. Didn't understand what as the teens went on, didn't understand what I was getting myself into, but it soon became reality. And my point behind that whole spiel is that I watched so many Jet coaches come, and there were so many times I just wasn't turned on by it. It did nothing for me. Nothing. I tried to reason with the fact that, yeah, okay, Lou Holtz, the success was, all right, okay, all right. I loved Walt Michaels. I got a great video about Walt Michaels. You guys should go check. It's an unbelievable story. There's a picture of Walt Michaels next to the video. Definitely watch that one. It's my favorite video. One of my favorite videos. But after Walt Michaels was Joe Walton. And immediately, God rest his soul, he just passed away. Sorry, Joe, but that's all the truth. Completely uninspired. And Leon Hess was a loyal SOB back then. The Jets held on to coaches in losing seasons a lot longer than most teams. Leon Hess was a to a fault, a very dedicated person. And he was very loyal to his head coaches and kept them around definitely a little longer than they should have. So I've seen that all. I immediately had problems with Herm Edwards, clock management. These are the things I look for immediately. And Salah, I'll get to later on. We don't know what kind of game day coach he's going to be yet, but the boxes that he's checked off so far. My point is that since Salah has come on, he has checked off every damn box that I was not able to check off before. I am inspired, and I'm not inspired the way we use that term in sports. You know what I mean? Inspired is, he just pumps me up. He just, oh my God, his emotions. And I'm just so inspired of the kind of person he is. His relationships with players. It just blows me away when you watch him walk around the field talking to players. He's got a humility to him that is off the charts. I've never seen a humility on a coach like that before. And at the same time, you could tell he could be a real prick when he has to be. You can't get any better than that. Humility plus prick equals perfect to me. You know? That sounds weird, huh? But it does. It really does. And he checks off every box. The only box he doesn't check off yet is game day coach. You know? We don't know. We don't know if we're going to have enough timeouts, with 4 minutes to go in the game. We don't know if what kind of decisions on 4th and 3 with 5.5 minutes to go, and we're down by 8 and on 9, and we need 2 scores. We don't know those kind of decisions he's going to make yet. But when I watched him in that first preseason game and he made the challenge and you saw his calmness about it, I think he is just so calm. Maybe inside he's boiling, but he is just so under control for a guy that everybody thought was insane, that we would watch the Niner games and say, boy, oh boy, is he going to be able to coach? We have seen it already. There is no doubt in my mind that Coach Saleh, is he going to jump up and down when there's a great play made? Briefly. Yes, he will. But the Coach Saleh we thought might be on the sidelines, that's not him. He is completely, you could tell he's going to be completely under control. And he told us that before this started. He was asked that question. Then Joe Douglas, what Joe Douglas has done so far. Other than the kicking position, which I have a video on also, because I'm going to be honest with you always, and if Joe does something I don't like, I'm going to tell you. Everything Joe has done, the free agency signed, the way he signed them, the amount of money he spent, wasn't too crazy about, doing Crowder's contract. I was okay with doing Crowder's contract over. Wasn't too crazy how much we did it over. But come on, nickels and dimes, what am I going to do here? Everything he's done, the way he drafted, the first year's draft, couple question marks here and there, but you can tell by the second year, he just nailed it, man. He nailed it. He nailed it by going all offense the first 4 picks. He hires a defensive coordinator, a defensive guy, a defensive mind, and takes a rookie quarterback with his first pick and gets the lineman to protect the quarterback, and let's go defensive coach, and bam, no. 2 more. And one of the guys ends up being somebody the whole NFL is talking about right now, Elijah Moore. Do we know what kind of player he's going to be? No. But boy, oh boy, huh? So far. And then takes a running back after that. Still no defense. We're into the 4th round. We hired a defense coordinator. Joe does everything. Whatever Joe feels is the right thing to do, Joe does it and doesn't look back and doesn't care what people think or say. And then we got a Jet organization that finally, and this sounds so embarrassing to make a big deal over, but finally understands how you run a team in the NFL. He's got a team that he shares the building with, the Jets owners, that has been doing it the right way for years. He's heard the press talk about it for years. He's heard the fans scream about it for years. Owner, GM, coach. Coach, GM, owner. I mean, 1 + 1. I'll give you a couple seconds. Right? It's 2. And finally, the Jets implement that. Not only do they implement it, they're asked a question, and it becomes a big deal. It becomes like a major accomplishment at some press conference. Yes, you guys are making a little bit bigger deal. Chris Johnson said you guys are making a little bigger deal of how it was before, because it was pretty much the bottom line. What are you doing now, Chris? Yes, that's the way we are going to go. Coach Saleh reports to Joe. Joe reports to me. It may sound like a simple, stupid thing, but it's you want to talk about dysfunction. That's where it starts. And when you have a team that has been dysfunctional, you don't have to look much further. So that's straightened out. Which brings us to the season, right? And this season was all about watching what a great player Carl Lawson would be for the Jets, right? Kind of. Not really. Because there's 14 or 15 other guys that I am so excited to see what kind of Jet contributors they're going to be over the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. There are so many. This is the one year I can remember years previously where I'd be in the third or fourth quarter of a preseason game, and there'd be like 2 or 3 guys in my head that I just, what number are they, rookies or whatever. Yeah, okay, and I'd be concentrating on them, and you get frustrated because it could, God, like 7 minutes of the game go by and you don't even see them do anything, and and now you put on a preseason game and every guy that's doing something has Joe Douglas's fingerprints all over it. Right? And that's what this season was supposed to be about. It wasn't about winning a Super Bowl. It wasn't about being the number 1 defense in the NFL. It was all about growth. Carl Lawson's injury makes me sick. It makes me sick. But this is the NFL, and that crap happens. And there are a lot of players I'm like really pumped up to watch this year. Never in my entire life of watching the Jets, never, and it's a long ass time, have I had this amount of players to focus on. Not even close. Not even close. So no, I'm still really pumped up, man. I am really pumped up for this season. Tomorrow at some point, not at some point, at kickoff, the Jets are going to take the field, whether it's the offense first or the defense first. And right off the bat, I've got a bunch of guys that I'm real excited to see what they're going to become. When the offense takes over, boy, oh boy, we know where we're looking first, right? But after that, oh my gosh. What is Mims? What is Carter? What is Becton? Eventually, what is Tucker? How will Davis take it to the next level? Was the tape we saw on Keelan Cole more right than him being in the Jacksonville Jaguar system for a decent amount of time and still producing whatever it was, 55 catches for 700 yards? Is Keelan Cole better than that? What is Elijah Moore? What is he? In the video yesterday or the day before, I told you guys I think he's going to go down. Just listening to him, that was the day before, 2 days ago, after the One Jets Drive, episode 2 with tape. I told you guys how I feel about him. And a game hasn't been played yet. My gut just tells me that we're looking at one of the important Jets in the next 10 years. That he's going to do things that are just off the charts. Not because I'm reading some writer saying, my God, he looks fantastic. No. Just by listening to him speak. Old soul, right? Remember I talked about that a couple days ago? Old soul in that video? That's what Saleh calls him, just an old soul. This is a unique human being, and there's a reason why some really great top flight veterans think that this kid is going to be special. And one of them came out and said he's going to be better than me, man. Was it AJ McCarron's? I can't remember who it was. But anyway, that's how they feel about him. So we got him. On the defensive side of the ball, we got a couple safeties in college that are making the transformation to linebacker. Wow. Some that were supposed to be drafted a lot higher and fell to us. Some that are turning heads in camp. We've got a stacked defensive line still. We got a linebacker that was so under the radar that when we signed him from the Lions for a 1-year, $8 million deal, as our first signing in free agency with all this money, this is our gigantic splash, a lot of us were scratching our heads. And then we hear the story of this kid, and we see the insertion almost before he was on the field. And since he's been on the field as a starter, no questions asked, and we get to watch him. And the list just doesn't stop. We got a middle linebacker that's been not playing football for 2 years. And the last game he played was one of the best middle linebacker performances the Jets have ever seen in their history as a franchise. And that was it. It's been 2 years, and now he's back. I mean, it just doesn't stop. I can go on and on. Like I said before, previous years, 2 to 3 players, 4, and that includes the year the Jets had, 3 first-round picks? We had, Beck, Pennington, Ferguson. We had, that was an incredible draft. Wasn't Cole that year too in the second round? Anyway, it was a great draft. There was a lot to be excited about. But it wasn't like this. It wasn't this amount of players. There's a lot to look for. And the great thing, there's only one thing that I'm as positive as I can be. Will every single one of the guys that I just talked about be a surprise? Will every one of those guys be a major contributor for the Jets? The answer is probably no. But I'm telling you what, there are going to be some of those guys that are going to step up and blow us away. And that, to me, what this is all about. So we wish Carl Lawson the best. We're praying for him. And if anybody can come back from this and be almost there, right there, and he claims better, it's him. Because we know we don't have to doubt that, his work ethic. So stay psyched. Subscribe. And if you like, that'd be great too. And we'll have something else tomorrow, unless something else pops up today. And it probably will, because I think they're going against the Packers. No, today's Friday. They're off today, right? Yeah, I think they're off today, and then tomorrow's the preseason game. Yeah, they're off today, I believe. Anyway, if anything else pops up today, I'll pop up with something else. If not, tomorrow I'll do a little quickie before the game, and I'll do definitely a video after the game. Last week's Giant one, I ended it, I think it was around 12:30, 1:45 in the morning, the video. So, and got a couple emails. I have no idea why, that I look tired. So maybe I'll take a nap before I do the one after the Packer game. Anyway, thank you guys. It means a lot. It really does. That I cannot believe the amount of views that I've gotten so far. It just means a lot to me. It really does. And I hope it's because I'm just trying to tell the truth and speak from the heart. I'm going to get things wrong but it's only going to be because, you know, you try to put yourself out there and just tell what's in your heart. And when you tell what's in your heart, most of the time, at least, you're going to be on target in some area. And all these views are unbelievable. I mean, I just can't believe it. I had a number in my head that I was thought, and this is unbelievable. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And subscribe, please. Okay? Guys, have a great day. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night.